So the Avengers Endgame spoiler ban is lifted. It's been a week since the movie released, and here we are. We're gonna talk about this movie. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Baba Chuck 14 is here, and we're here to talk about Avengers Endgame. This is my movie review slash spoiler discussion. So here we are. Avengers Endgame is a 3-hour movie long experience, which is awesome as it gets. It is the culmination of the story arcs, in my opinion, of two main characters. The guy who started it all, Iron Man, and the first Avenger, Captain America. So it stars Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Mark Ruffalo, Don Cheadle, and a lot more actors in this movie, because this movie is so huge and expansive, and it's so epic that everyone who's made a great contribution in the last 11 years of the MCU are in this movie. Just to tell you how massive this movie was, it was the largest opening day of 156.7 million. It beat the Star Wars Force Awakens, which had an opening day of 119 million. This was a Friday gross sales for the movie, and it has the largest Saturday gross of 109 million. It beat the previous movie Infinity War, which had 82 million for the Saturday, and has the largest gross for the Sunday movie, 84.3 million, beating again Infinity War, which last year had 69 million. And if you want to see my Infinity War review, it's over here. Just click on the link. And domestic opening weekend, it had 350 million in North America, and it beat again Infinity War, which last year had 257.69 million. And as for the international opening weekend, it had 859 million, which beat out The Fate of the Furious that had 443 million. That was internationally. And for the whole worldwide opening weekend, it earned 1.2 billion, which doubled Infinity War's 640 million. See how massive this movie has become. And I like this movie very much because it's a roller coaster event. Everything, like you feel happiness, sadness, nostalgia. There's a lot of great callbacks to the past movies, to the first Avenger movie. If you saw that first round group shot of the first 6 Avengers, if you felt that was so epic, this has multiplied the epicness of that moment by 10. Well, Avengers Endgame is the full culmination of the first 6 Avengers, how their character arcs have evolved from the first few movies that we've known them until what they are now, and how the events and what happened to them shaped them. And it's very nice to see how much they've grown and how much they've evolved into the people that they are. We never give much credit to how much Josh Brolin is so awesome as Thanos. He is so dominating, he's menacing. It's a great portrayal of a villain, which if you watch the movie, like, it's a very great obstacle for the Avengers to overcome. I'm gonna give out a movie digital code, and it is A Quiet Place, which is also an awesome movie. Get that movie code, follow the instruction, and you can watch this movie anywhere. So the most epic moment in this movie for me was that grand battle between Thanos and the Avengers. In the first movie, in Infinity War, Thanos snapped his fingers and half the humanity, half the Avengers were gone. And in this movie, they came back and it was an epic showdown between Thanos and the Avengers, which were in full force. And it was, I can't describe how epic that battle was. Even seeing a Gwyneth Paltrow in her Iron Man suit, she was fighting against Thanos' forces together with Iron Man. It was so awesome. And then one more epic moment was when Thor was getting the Stormbreaker getting pushed through his chest by Thanos, and he tried to call to Mjolnir, and Mjolnir rose from the ground and it flew and it went to the fist of Captain America. Captain America yielded Mjolnir and punched the living shit out of Thanos. That was so epic. And the last is when Scarlet Witch, which is a very, very powerful superhero in the comics, and in the MCU her powers are not so evolved, but she kicked the living shit out of Thanos. And if it was in the comics, I believe that Scarlet Witch could kick Thanos' ass and she could have killed him on her own. But the MVP of this movie, which is a call out to the company that bought Marvel, Doctor Strange said in Infinity War that there's 1 in 14 million instances that they could win. And which started this all is because of one mouse or a rat, which I think is a callback to Mickey Mouse, which is the one that owns Marvel now. That's why the rat is the MVP of this movie. And then, yes, this movie have a lot of plot holes because it deals with time travel, and whenever time travel is dealt with, a lot of questions arise. And yes, I won't discuss all of the plot holes, but it has sparked a lot of discussion on the social media and everywhere. And the last part of the movie, Captain America has to return all of the Infinity Stones to their rightful places in the past. So this is the last part of the movie, which me and my wife discussed, and this is one of a lot of the questions that were asked. How did Captain America get old? Because in the movie, he went back to the past and he chose to live a life with a Peggy Carter, and he collected his last dance that was promised to him in Captain America the First Avenger. So a lot of people ask, so how did Captain America become old? And if Captain America became old, then it says that it's logically that all the other movies wouldn't have happened because he turned old. Or if he remained in the past, he knows already how everything would play out, right? Because he's from the future. Well, my explanation for that is, this is future Captain America, so he goes to the past. He goes to the past. During that time, the Captain America in that year was still trapped under ice and still wasn't uncovered by S.H.I.E.L.D. So I think what happened was this guy, the future Captain America, chose to live a normal life with Peggy Carter. And then Peggy Carter just lived the same life, and she still became the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. And during that whole time, they still uncovered this Captain America, which was still buried in the ice. So this guy who was buried in the ice still lived the life and still went through all the events that happened through all the MCU movies until to the future. So what happened would be, there were already 2 Captain Americas that lived through the timeline. Only this one, from the future decided not to be Captain America from that time on until the future when he went old. So enough of that confusing time travel stuff. We got another movie digital code, Deadpool 2, one of the most funniest and most awesome Marvel movies in recent years. So get that code, download it, and watch it anywhere. And now we've come to the conclusion of the video. So we're gonna rate Avengers Endgame, and no doubt it's a 5 stars. It's a champion. Go watch it. I'm gonna rewatch it again, maybe 5 times. So how about you guys? What was your favorite part of the movie? Who's your favorite Avenger? And what do you think will happen in the future of the MCU? Comment below. As always, this is BubbaChuck14. Do it with style, or do it at all.